What is going on, guys and girls? It's Angry Roleplay once again. Today I want to show you the Betrayal League startup build that I'm going to play and 3.5, and this is a SPECTRE Summoner build. The reason why I decided to play SPECTRE is the last time I played them it was 2.6, which was the Legacy League. This is when I fully returned to the Path of Exile and transition from Diablo 3 to Path of Exile. And I was at like super total noob when I have returned. I had to learn a lot of things. And I also played Solo Self-Found, which was an absolutely terrible idea for a newbie player, which who really like do not really understand the very big things about Path of Exile. And I decided to play Solo Self-Found, Necromancer, Summoner, Spectre, Skeletons, Zombies, everything. I wanted to fit everything. It was a terrible idea. And who would have known that I've had an absolutely terrible experience. I've only found my Bones of Ruler, which are the crucial for the Spectre builds, as level 89, and never since then did I play Solo Self-Found. It was a really bad idea to start with, and I absolutely lost interest in the Solo Self-Found builds, and I do not recommend to play very gear dependent builds for all players out there, but it still can be played, it can be done. I just do not recommend Solo Self-Found. But getting back to the build, guys, Spectres changed quite a bit. They became much more powerful. There are also very different Spectres right now, which are the Val Advocates with the Incursion Temple. There are many cool things to come. We don't really know what new monsters we will have in the Betrayal League, and really want to reinvent the whole Spectre thing. I want to play a really powerful build because I always play kind of shitty build, and this is one of the builds that is incredibly powerful. The clear speed is absolutely retarded. The single target is absurd. The Spectres haven't been really nerfed. They only got better and better. It's much easier to keep the Spectres up now. So this is the build that I'm gonna play. Let's get over the build really quick. I will show you really quick why I decided to play the build and what items do we need for this. So here we go. This is part of the building, guys, and luckily with the latest updates we can finally see how much damage Spectres do. We can manage our Spectres here. We can put Solar Guards, for example, and many other Spectres and experiment with them. Look what kind of damage they do, what kind of attacks, spells they do, how much life they have, how much leech they do. A lot of different things, and this is extremely good. When I started playing Spectres in 2.6 and even before that, none of this was even possible, but now everything got much more transparent. So we start as a witch and basically get minion damage over here. The basic idea behind the build is to use 4 Spectres, which will be Solar Guards as an easiest thing, and it doesn't mean that this build purely relies on the Solar Guards, guys, because there are many interesting Spectres to explore. You don't want to stick with the Solar Guards, but they are like the easiest choice, and this is what the plan to start with. They do a lot of damage, they do a lot of projectiles, the beams are really powerful. They are just extremely good for the map clearing. So the basic idea is to use 4 Solar Guard Spectres as well as 10 Skeletons. We are not dropping Skeletons entirely, we are using Skeletons actively for taunt on hit, blind on hit, as well as distracting the bosses from hitting Spectres. It will be very useful. In the long past time ago, a lot of people use zombies, but trust me, zombies are not worth it. They will just die all over. They will die a lot at the bosses. They are extremely squishy. They die a lot to elemental damage. And if you do not invest into zombies specifically, if you don't invest in the damage, invest a lot in the life pool, their leech, zombies are absolutely not worth it. Just forget about them. Spectres are pretty powerful on their own, and they do not really die if you summon a high level Spectre, so they are just enough to clear pretty much all content. And if we add Skeletons on top of that, 10 Skeletons add about 1.2 million damage based on my calculations on an Elder 5 link helm. So 4 Spectres do about 1,400,000, so that's 1.4, and Skeletons about 1.2 if we get 10 of them. So that's about around 3 million shaper damage, which is enough for most content in the game, as well as Uber Elder. The build has a lot of damage and decent amount of toughness too. So let's start with the Witch. I would quickly start transitioning to the Grave Intentions as well as Lord of the Dead, because at the start we'll be still running zombies, and even though we will drop them later, skeletons are still good. Get life here and get your Spectres when you are about level 29. This is when you will get your first Spectre jewel, and by this time you already have at least 2 Spectres, even 3 Spectres with Bone of War, and you will start just melting everything with the Flame Sentinels, because you will only get Solar Gods by Act 8, but Flame Sentinels are easily affordable and they're extremely powerful as well. After that, I strongly recommend you to get to this node, which is 0.6 Leech. This way your Spectres will be will stay alive more, and you will not be bothering resummoning them. They will also get more life pool. Overall, they will keep surviving on their own. After that, basically more life in jewels. That's about it. This is a very powerful jewel, giving them regeneration too. There's also a region over here. This region over here. Also, they have regeneration over there, so just 2% regen over here, so get this while you can. After you get all the Spectres that you need, you will start becoming fat, get more life and jewels, and that's about it. Overall, it's a pretty standard summoner tree. There's no weird things over there. The only thing that I recommend for mapping once you reach the maps is Unending Hunger. This will give your Spectres a Soul Eater, which makes them even stronger. Also, by around level 50, 56 something, I can remember, you can get Victorious Charity Shield and get Necromantic Aegis. This will apply all bonuses to your Spectres, and they will get Frenzy and Power Charges. And like I said in my NECROMANCER build, Power Charges and Frenzy Charges work very differently for both you and the Spectres and the minions. They give much more crit chance for the minions and much more crit to the minions, as well as movement speed per frenzy charge. Overall, they work tremendously good for your minions. This is very important. For the Ascendancy, the first thing is definitely Invoker, and the second is Soul Weaver to really boost your Spectres. It also increases the life of the Spectres by 100%. This is incredibly important. The Mercy and the Uber Lab doesn't really matter. Commander of Darkness or Puppet Master, you are about to it's your choice. I would personally maybe go with the Puppet Master to give increased minion duration. This will make your skeletons last longer, and this will greatly help you with the boss. But Commander of Darkness is not bad at all. That's about it. Overall, I have an extensive Path of Exile thread that you can read. It has everything I already did, like the whole build. The only thing that I don't have time for this now is like the full video build guide with different sections, and like I usually do. So I want to do really quick build overview, because the build itself is pretty simple. You just get 4 Spectres, you get skeletons, and that's about it. You literally run the whole game with this setup. Let's go over the items really quick. Like I said, the bandits are 2 passive points, you don't really need anything else. The items is the minion damage one-hander, and you can craft it using the bound fossil or just in the it's a bestiary incursion item. You can craft it easier now. The offhand is Victorious Charity, the helmet is Bone Helmet, and this will be the stretch goal for this build. This is one of the reasons why I decided to play in this build in the Betrayal, because this is a very hard to get thing, and I really want to try to craft that in the temporary league, either than the standard, because it's extremely expensive. It's very hard to get, but this is my stretch goal for the league. This is an Elder based Bone Helmet, high level. What I want to get here is minion damage, as well as probably minus fire resist and life. This will make my skeletons, which we put in the helm, extremely powerful. It will give them a 6 link, which they do not care about, but all I care about is minion damage here. If you get minion damage, minion life, this is absolutely crazy. This is what I plan to get. Plus 2 free dual levels to The minion jumps is extremely strong for the skeletons, and this is kind of a project that I will be running for the Betrayal League. For the body armor, this is Vis Mortis. This makes us really squishy, but at the same time it gives us +1 Spectre, increased minion damage, and all of that. This is mandatory for the Spectres. This is also Delve specific drops that can only happen in the Delve, which should give you +1 Spectre chest. If you can get the +1 Spectre chest, you can try to get it, but you know, it's very rare to get a necessary chest with necessary colors for the Spectres, but it is possible, so keep an eye on PoE trade for the chest with +1 Spectres and good sockets. I will be keeping an eye on this too. The gloves are very easy, straightforward, life resist and crafted minion damage. Very easy. You don't really need Grip of the Council for this, just a normal life and crafted minion. Boots are also a very cool project, and another reason why I will be running this in the Betrayal, because using Bound Fossil from the Delve, we can craft Spectres on the boots. So necessary, we don't need Bones of Ulur anymore, because Bones of Ulur are energy shield based, very slow boots. But having this thing, this makes life build really shine, and I will have a project of 2% regen boots with the Spectres on them. This will be my project, the second project for this build, because it's really interesting to try get things like this. The amulet basically doesn't matter. I would prefer Astra Mantis for this, but if you have life resist, any life resist amulet, that's fine. If you can get +1 skeletons, it will be absolutely OP. The rings are basically just classic movement speed, move speed to the minions. Rings, again, you can craft it using Bound Fossil, so keep an eye on the Bound Fossil, guys, as much as you can. So basically life resist and movement speed to the minions. The belt is also very interesting, because with a Bound Fossil you can craft a belt with a maximum minion life, and this is very, very helpful to the Spectres, in the very end game Uber Elder. This is where the most problems are, and this is where they actually start dying. They can potentially die there, and this is what will potentially keep them alive. This is very, very important. But if you can craft it, just use a free res Stygian Wise belt. The jewels are basically life, cast speed, increase minion damage, and try to get hinder on hit with spells on one of the jewel, because your solar guards and most other spellcaster Spectres will be casting spells, and this is a nice debuff. The flask are nothing special, just you can use Rumi's Taste of Hate, Basalt Flask. This is what I personally prefer. It's not a big deal. The other gems are mostly Town on Hit, Blind on Hit, because we will be summoning skeletons for the bossing, and this will distract bosses from the Spectres, and this make them skeletons Town on Hit and Blind on Hit. This is very important. One unending hunger, like I said, just for the mapping purposes, to get for Spectres to gain Soul Eater. For the skills themselves, I will all describe in the thread as well. For the Spectres, this is Spectre, minion damage, spell echo, left focus, control destruction, drop control destruction on a 5-link. And for the clear speed, this is GMP, and for the bossing, this is slow projectiles. That's about it. Nothing else is really important. On the Scalis, we have to put them in the Helm, which will be a 5-link in the Elder Helm with minion damage. And the links are basically Val Summon Skeletons, Minion, Millefizz, Multi-Strike, and Brutality. Brutality gives the most, because we're not using Hatred, we're using Anger instead. So Brutality gives them the most damage. You can drop Brutality for Edit Fire. This is kind of a comparable amount of damage if you wish, and you can benefit your skeletons from the extra to the extra damage. The auras are Generosity, Blasphemy, Anger, and Ele Weakness. I think these are optimal. Haste actually does a comparable amount of damage to Ele Weakness, but I decided since Haste does not really affect me, I don't want to run. I want to run auras and Generosity, so Haste is pretty pointless for me personally. I don't care. I will shield charge across the map. I don't want to run. So Ele Weakness and Anger, I think, will be the absolute blast. The other links are basically custom damage taken, model call, nothing crazy. This is a classic 4 link that I use for a desecration, desecrate, stone golem, flash offering, increased duration, and this is basically shield charge, faster attacks, fortify. That's about it, guys. I think I explained pretty much everything. If you have questions, ask in the forum thread. If you have problems optimizing something, ask me on stream, ask me on Twitch, ask me in the thread. If I forgot anything, please forgive me, but I wanted to do this build guide really quick, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for watching the video. Your likes and dislikes, especially, as they push me forward even more. If you want to see more content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do daily uploads of role-playing content, be it builds, guides, let's play, stream highlights, and upcoming RPG games. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitch stream to catch me live in action. I do stream daily on working days. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator and a Twitch streamer too, so if you want to support me, you can do it either from Twitch or by PayPal directly from my website angryroleplayer.com. Join my Discord channel too for a place to discuss RPG things offline, as well as follow my Twitter to be notified on any new content. If you want to get extra information like sneak peeks into upcoming videos, plans, different behind-the-scenes footage, you can also join the Unholy Army on Patreon as well, guys. Thank you very much once again for watching, listening to all this. See you soon.